Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 3, Episode 2, A Foot Too Big. A really good episode. I thought it was a really good comedy episode, at least. It didn't have really anything to do with the main story for this season. And it seems like most of the episodes, or at least, I won't say most of the episodes, but the first couple of episodes, I feel like are really just going to be the Turtles getting used to them being inside this forest. They're in a new location, there aren't buildings and stuff like Raph said. And that's really going to be the main story that we have in season 3, at least for the beginning. And they aren't going to focus too much on it because it's just them training and that's what they do in each episode. So for the first couple of episodes, it seems like it's just going to be each week is like a different story of the week, and it's going to be something else, and eventually we're going to get the Toads and stuff like that. But I enjoyed this episode. It was pretty funny. It was definitely funny, and it had some pretty interesting moments in it too, especially the stuff with Donnie and April where Donatello kind of figured out, because Sasquatch liked him, what it is like to be kind of just hovered over by someone you don't really like that much, or at least not in that way. So that part of the episode was definitely interesting. The enemy of the episode, I guess, the Finger, was definitely a silly character. He has some really silly stuff going on with the shrunken head as his mother, and like the moment when he was talking to the head and he wanted his own like monster hunting reality show and he shot the bones, like, you know, it was like he was supposed to be howling, but it was just him in his regular voice, like, ooh yeah, and it was just super simple. Like, it wasn't like anything energetic or anything. It was just him talking almost, and he was just like howling in his own voice. It was nothing special, and then there was just like an explosion behind him. So I think that was probably my favorite funny moment in this episode. It was so silly the way he sounded to me, but I liked how they fought him. He actually could fight at the end of this episode. He was a bit of a challenge for Mikey and Donnie, but of course he ended up losing, and he ends up falling in love with Sasquatch almost like towards the end of the episode. So he was a really silly character. He'll probably come back since they're going to be in the forest. They might have an episode where anyone that wasn't like a creature created out of mutagen, like the swamp creature, they'll probably have them all kind of come together at some point before they leave the city, or they'll have them all come back into the season once they leave out of the forest and go back into the city when Leo is fully recovered, and they can all really make a plan to go back and see what's happening with the Krang and with the Foot Clan. But I enjoyed the episode. It was really silly. Just lots of funny moments. We didn't get to see, you know, like I said, it wasn't really a big focus on the main story. It was really just them getting used to their environment. That was really the main, I guess, overarching story so far in the season, is them getting adjusted to this forest and Leo healing himself, and he seems like he's doing a little bit better. In this episode, he didn't have much of a focus. It was really more on Donnie, and Mikey was in there a lot too. Like, it wasn't really focused on Mikey, but he was kind of like in the final fight scene. It seemed like he just had a lot of scenes with Donatello in this episode. Like, especially even in the very beginning, it was Donatello and Mikey when Donatello was making the music box for April. So it was focused on those two a lot. Of course, the main one was Donatello in this episode, but I really enjoyed it. They had some pretty cool action scenes. They're starting to train. When they fought Sasquatch in the beginning, was pretty funny, and they were talking, and Raphael was talking about how Sasquatch had skills and stuff. I thought that was pretty funny, and that was a cool part too. But overall, that was just a good comedy episode. I'm really excited to see what the main story for the season will be, and I have to assume it's just going to be them waiting for Leo to heal, and once he heals, they're going to come up with a big plan, or the best plan they really can come up with, you know, a makeshift lab that Donnie has, the van that they stole, and then just them. So, you know, once that comes into play, I'll be really excited. But I am enjoying these episodes. It is a cool change of scenery. I don't know what they're going to do as far as having a new base. I'm sure they won't just keep going from the city to New York, or from the city to like the farmland. But it'll be cool to see what they do once they transition from the forest to the city, and how they take what lessons they've learned and camouflage and stuff like that. Even though it won't apply too much, I'm sure they'll find some ways to adapt it to city life, and, you know, they'll have like new levels of stealth, I guess. But it was a good comedy episode. I'm excited for next week. Of course, comment below, let me know what you guys thought about this one, your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and what do you want the main story to be. It was just, even though it's only the second episode this season, if it was something that really stood out to me, because they talked about the training and getting adjusted to their current location. So it makes me wonder, how long are they going to stay in the forest? What's going to happen when Leo does heal? What are they really going to go back? What are they going to do? Are they going to have a plan, not have a plan? So what do you guys think is going to happen in this season, or what do you think the main story is really going to focus on? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.